Welcome, I'm Jane Holland and this is your creative forecast for the full moon in Libra this month. Now this full moon, falling at 8 degrees Libra on the 28th of March, is a complex, multi-layered full moon with a dash of wild beauty and eccentric magic about it. And this could spell an unsettling end of the month for some creatives out there, and an exciting, rather exotic opportunity for others, depending on your affinity for the outer planets and their influence. Libra, of course, is all about relationships, so these will be brought to the fore as well, and not necessarily as smoothly as Libra would like. It could be a battle to keep everyone round the table polite. Rather like Christmas dinner in an argumentative household. We have Pluto and Uranus resonating with the moon during this time, and these outer planets have a particular flavour, shall we say, that is not to everyone's taste, being just a tad dangerous at times. Pluto brings natural endings, as well as opportunities for regeneration, while Uranus can whisk us away on an unexpected and exhilarating adventure, rather like poor bewildered Bilbo Baggins in Tolkien's The Hobbit. And though the adventure may be mercifully brief with Uranus, afterwards we're never quite the same again. Probably the strongest aspect of this full moon is the rather more homely opposition to Venus in Aries. Now Venus is one of our very familiar inner planets, so it may be hard at first to see why this should take precedence over contacts with those big hitting outer planets. But this Moon and Venus opposition is strong and vital, and it's between rivals. Venus is in Aries, and this makes her super strong and just a touch aggressive. And Venus Moon represents two faces of the feminine archetype, two contrasting faces. And the moon is the mumsy domestic image of the female, the mother, the wife, the caregiver, and Venus is the seductive young siren, all pouts and heavy eye makeup. These are archetypes, of course, and stereotypes if you prefer. But the kind of mumsy moon thing can be quite volatile too, fluctuating through her various phases. Inconstant as the moon, I think Shakespeare said that. Venus can also represent art, beauty, harmony, as well as money, and she actually rules Libra where this full moon falls. But that ownership of Libra is what makes this opposition so fascinating. See, Venus is opposite the moon, who is occupying Venus's own sign. So it's like Venus is pointing accusingly across the chart at her older and wiser counterpart, saying, "Get out of my house," while the moon in Libra looks back in a kind of mild surprise and trying to be patient with this young Venus. But that's Libra all over. She's keen for everyone to get on, to be polite, and yet somehow always finding herself in the middle of heated disputes, trying in vain to be the voice of reason. Now it's at this point that our creative senses get involved with this full moon, because we respond instinctively to that age-old clash between feminine archetypes, and we have to take one side over the other to use in our art. Now the perfect response, of course, would be an amalgam, a merging blend of what is best in Moon and Venus. But I doubt that many will be able to do that during this opposition. It's easier at the conjunction, where the two planets occupy the same degree. Here it is about confrontation and picking sides. Now, doesn't that sound like where we are at the moment in society? Everyone seems to be picking sides. Nobody is listening to the other side even. They're all so intent on broadcasting their own message as loudly as possible to drown out their opponent. And Moon Venus is very glamorous. It's fascinating. It's about outward show. It's about reputation. It's a bit worldly and a little self-obsessed too. It's a perfect symbol, in fact, for social media. And with Venus in Aries, the temperature there is definitely hotting up. So you might want to steer clear, actually, of social media at this full moon if the constant name calling and confrontation make you queasy. Now, creatively, you may find yourself drawn to depict some of these archetypes in your work. In bold, assertive Aries, there's a curious and exotic blend of male and female energies to Venus. Aries is ruled by Mars, of course, so here we have Venus putting on his military uniform and playing with his weapon collection, all very G.I. Jane. So at this time you could actually be drawn towards fiery, strong female creations with an aggressive edge or a bold, adventurous feel to them. But if you can bring that Libra moon in too, you could get the best of both worlds, creatively speaking. Libra is harmony, symmetry, balance. It brings the sense of an instant classic. Now, creative areas highlighted by this Libra full moon would be architecture, arts and crafts, dance, musical composition, performance arts, theatre, even fire swallowing. These are all, or sword swallowing actually, these are all highlighted at this Venus moon opposition. But the harmonious trine aspect to transformative Pluto in earthy Capricorn, just before this moon becomes full, provides a steadying influence to this. Yes, Pluto brings change, and yes, the planet of natural endings can feel dark and even sinister at times. But a reminder of our own mortality, that can be useful for artists. It prompts us to move forwards, to keep changing and growing and developing our craft. And then there's the quincunx aspect. The quincunx, a funny word, is a quirky 150-degree aspect. And it's forming here between the moon and Uranus in fixed Earth. And this could give the full moon quite an undertone of fanaticism, a dangerously inflexible feel. But in my opinion, it's not as strong an aspect as some of the other influences at play here. So this Uranian contact could actually feel a bit like a storm in a teacup. Everything could feel blown out of proportion momentarily, nerves strained, people easily upset. But it is a useful aspect for artists. The creative spring tide is high at this full moon, and it's smashing up against all our emotions and our preconceptions at this time. As artists, as writers, as creators, we can use that wild energy in our work. So this full moon could be a great time to let go of our comfort blankets. Try something new and let go of those outdated methods of working. Those ideas and routines that we cling to and might actually be holding us back. You know, sometimes you can get into a situation as a creator. You think you know the best way to work and you never risk change because what if it doesn't work? You know, what if you mess up what you're doing and no one wants to work with you again? Well, all this rather wild and unsettling, but hugely creative and transformative full moon energy, this could be a time when you can finally break with your own traditions and working methods and find a brilliant new way of being inspired, of making your dreams manifest. So have a wonderful and dangerously creative time at this full moon. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications so that you can see new videos. Leave a comment below. Thank you for listening and I look forward to speaking to you next time.